like it loud. Hello, everybody. You can tie. They can't hear you yet. Let's see which. I can't tell which one you guys are. All right, now they can hear you. Hello, everybody.
Hey, yo. What's popping, Chad?
I am. All right, we're looking good. Got the music turned off there. Let's test. Actually, you guys won't be able to hear. Let me fix that first. Goxler.
Please, I'm living. I got my gal to plat. Now I'm trying to get my Honda to master.
Start cheering now.
Did you hear that, Mike?
Yes, I did.
So good. Street Fighter, so good. Mike, what
Street
happened with
Fighter's so
Street Fighter?
good. Yum. Street Fighter's so good.
Street Fighter, so good.
What's wrong?
Yum.
Yum.
Street Fighter, so good. Yum.
It's so good.
Street Fighter, so good. Yum. Kisses.
Ice cream.
Yum. Ice cream.
Okay.
Oh, we need to. Oh, you need to do one of those streams on the Jam Bomb TikTok,
yeah,
bro.
Absolutely. I think it's not the right one. Hang on, there we go. Last.
Oh, it's spicy.
All right, everybody. I think we're pretty close to getting started. Shit, I keep forgetting to do that thing. I gotta do that.
Oh,
tonight.
really? We watched a net last night.
Yeah,
Are we ready for anything
I'm not ready
in
for
life?
anything. No, not anymore.
We need to thank Bill Burr and Chris Rock
thanks to Bill Burr and Chris Rock. That's right. Okay, let's see.
Let me tell you, that post-credit scene is something.
Oh, I guess I should look it up.
It is.
There's a post-credit scene in a net. That's insane. Of course there is. They would
weird.
never.
But it's not about the movie. It's like it's the crew and director and every actor singing and walking.
That sounds
it's
right.
Like,
that just sounds like the kind of thing they would want to do. They hated that they had to stop making that movie. They just wanted to
Chris
keep
Rock
making
did
it.
made a net, and that's why he deserved to be in jail.
That's right. Okay, everybody. Mike, I think I'm ready. I'm gonna tweet. Actually, let me tweet.
Yeah,
Let's
do that. I've tweeted.
Tweet it.
I'm gonna skeet it.
Made a joke about my slot.
Tweet it.
Get skeeted.
People is way more active on Blue Sky than is on Twitter. At least the people I like.
Well, yeah, because they're people like you.
Yeah.
Fucking degenerate. I wish the real was on
Sickos.
Blue Sky. Really is not in Blue Sky. Well, he is, but he doesn't post on Blue Sky.
Oh, by the way, Blue Sky doesn't support video. What the fuck?
Oh,
No,
really?
he doesn't.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's useless for me right now.
It does not.
Just do GIF forms with like text.
Yeah.
I don't think it does GIFs either. I think
Okay.
it's just still images.
And these fucking boomers that post links and they don't add the card because you had to add it out manually. Like Grubb, he just added the link. Just add the card too, motherfucker, so it shows
No.
big. I didn't do shit. I need to rewatch some of I think you should leave. I don't know. I didn't get it the first time. Maybe if I rewatch it, it hits, you know? It's
Yeah,
one
that's,
of those
that's how things
shows.
work. If you don't like something, you just watch it until you do.
It's not that I didn't like it. It was like, this is fine. And some stuff was like,
It's a show that definitely can make you chuckle while you watch it, and then later you think about it and it makes you really laugh. That's what I find is true about that show.
yeah, it's like, it has like After Effect comedy.
Mm.
Oh, After Tremors. I don't know.
Okay, Mike, if I count us in, you gonna be ready to go?
I would wait a second. I forgot to open.
We didn't hear the music, by the way, if you play any music.
Hey,
Yeah, we did. He
you
literally
guys
said he-
hear me?
he literally said he could hear it.
Start cheering
Oh, I'm sorry. I
now.
watched Annette last night. My brain doesn't
That
work.
you know what? Completely, you're
Say,
forgetting.
what are you talking about? We had a whole conversation about how I can hear the music.
I apologize. I'm so out.
That's all good. We're ready though.
We are ready. Okay, then 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now. Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Are you ready to start? Hey, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and we are so in love.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, let's map, baby, and also what has been the most disappointing Nintendo Switch game so far this year. Jeff, how's it going, buddy?
I got an upset tummy, and I'm tired. I stayed up too late
Aw.
watching Annette, the
You should've
musical
just,
experience.
Yeah, you should have just not worked the next day like I did. It was
that's a
fine.
pretty good idea. Yeah, and then we had like a slightly earlier bombcast, so I like all my shit was thrown off. I'm like, oh, I got to get the news ready
Yeah.
like now instead of later. But it's okay. I'm like, it's not like terrible or anything. So mostly, I'm just like, I'm doing pretty good. How about you, Mike?
Oh yeah, I'm on my staycation, so I've been just kind of bumming around, doing even less than I intended. Turns out that what I really like to do on staycations is sleep. So been doing a good amount of that, but
Man,
I've
that
been
sounds cool.
been playing some video games. I do have to do some stuff around the house. I got a big pile of dishes in the sink. I got to do some laundry. So gonna have to actually do some real activities here soon. But nope, just been a giant bum today and yesterday, and it's been pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. That sounds very nice. I'm glad that you're doing giving yourself permission to bum it out like that.
That's right, absolutely. I know what's going on with my slot. Everyone keeps talking to me about my slot and how it's getting real wide. And
I'm
stuff,
not the keeper of the Minotti slot. All right, that's
Well,
Jan, and
oh,
we talked to him about it.
Jan owns my slot.
Jan owns the Minotti slot. That's right.
Wow.
I don't
didn't
know.
know
He just said it, and now it's part of the Giant Bomb lore. That's just how shit works around here.
Incredible. Well, that's good. That's good to know. Well, we got a show today. Thank you, everybody who's watching live right now. If you are watching live, you can hit that thumbs up button. We always appreciate it. You can also send in a super chat to ask any questions or comments you have. We will read them on the air. I see we have a few right now. Thank you so much for those. And yeah, that's it. I guess we're going to get into it, Jeff. But man, I think in the history of doing this show, I don't know if I have come across a week where there has technically been so little Nintendo news.
Yeah,
exactly.
It is. This summer feels like people are like, we're taking this summer off. Like we
Yeah,
we
right.
are actually doing it this summer. I thought,
Well,
oh,
we had
okay,
like
cool.
we had like Summer Game Fest and all that other stuff, and Nintendo did their direct not too long after that.
I mean, they got
And
Pikmin
then-
4 coming out Friday, right?
Right, it's not like there aren't games coming
Right.
out for sure. Like, but in terms of news, there's like a story about like the FBI or something using like a Switch to help find like a kid.
Yeah, that's pretty
good.
cool.
That's nice. That's good. I don't know what to say about that other than good.
I did see a video about they used an AI training model to like show it like, okay, here's what a video camera looks like in this room on top of this like Wi-Fi thing, and then here's what the Wi-Fi signals look like in that same room from that same angle. Now, what if we took away the camera and the AI is like, no, I can still see. I could use the wave signals from the Wi-Fi to see what's happening in that room. And I'm like, oh fuck, we're fucked. Everything's over. It's all over.
It's Jover.
And it's Jover. They're using switches to find children, and they're using Wi-Fi routers to look in my house. So it's all downhill. There was the one thing. PlayStation signed that deal with Microsoft for Call of Duty. And it's just for Call of Duty, but the Nintendo deal is for all Activision Blizzard games, apparently. So, I mean, do you think that there's a world in which like Diablo 5 comes out on the Switch, but not the PlayStation? Yeah.
I mean, Diablo 4's not even going to come to the Switch. So, like, I don't even know what that means necessarily. Like, maybe Diablo 4 will come to the Switch too. I don't really know if there's much of a distinction or difference in that. It's not like, like this is the next Call of Duty really came out on Switch. We still don't even understand what that means, really.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think, I'm glad they signed their little deals. It's hard to know.
Your cute little deal. That's nice that you kids have your cute
I think they are
deal.
cute little deals.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's fine. There's been some other stuff like Microsoft is also expecting a new Switch next year. Doesn't seem like that's really informed on much, except for the
they're
very
just guessing.
strong.
They're just listening to Last of the Nintendogs like everyone else.
Do you think that all this quietness? Do you think that is like the calm before the storm? Do you think some kind of announcement on stuff is imminent, or do you think that's coming later in the year?
Do you want me to like fuck up? Do you want me to like do you want me to step in the shit a little bit?
Jeff,
we can make some news.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So,
Stop, Christian. I want to go.
I'm scared.
Don't be too scared.
You're not supposed to. You're not technically here, Christian. Go ahead, Jeff.
Metroid Prime 2 remaster probably is coming out relatively soonish. Like that. That is happening. Let me check my see if any hairs falling out. All right, no, we're good. That probably is happening relatively soonish. This next phrase, I'm afraid to say, so I might not actually say. Listen, I don't know what it means. I'm going to tell you what they told me, and then if you take this and you spin it into something else, everybody, it's on you. Okay,
Good.
It's on you. Something not related to Tears of the Kingdom is happening with Zelda later this year. That's what I was told.
Oh no.
Okay, what do we do with that information? I don't know. I'm sure. Like we make a little bit of news. Let's do it. Why not? I mean,
okay.
What can we do with that?
Can I ask a question?
You can ask a question. I probably don't have answers.
Do you mean Wind Waker and Twilight
I don't
Princess?
mean shit, Mike. I don't know what it means.
Okay.
I don't want to fucking look at Wind Waker again. Piece of shit game.
I like that game a lot.
No, it's
that
a good game.
rules.
Good game.
Okay.
And then just like last thing, this one's not news because of course, but Nintendo normally does directs in September. We'll probably get a direct in September, right around the time of that Nintendo event that's happening in Seattle.
Around PAX, yeah.
Around PAX time. So yes, but that's like, of course we get that. Yes. So yeah, there you go.
I mean, it makes sense. You can use some more ports and remasters to fill out that schedule while we wait for the Switch 2, I guess. But that's almost like, oh, maybe that stuff early next year. Hearing that might happen this year still is a little bit surprising. Go ahead.
Who knows? Maybe it gets announced later this year. Again, I said exactly what I know. Like that's exactly what I heard. I know it's not a lot. This is a Nintendo show. We can like talk a little bit about rumors, but like something happening later this year with with Zelda, but it's not Tears of the Kingdom. That could just be something gets announced and it does come out early next year. So we'll see. Who knows? And again, this is the kind of thing where I said, oh, Metroid Prime going to get announced at the end of what it was 2022, and then that didn't happen. these things are nebulous. They can change. That happened there. It could happen here as well.
Like, I hope we did all learn a lesson there. Like, yeah, like, maybe we should have also like been more reminding people that plans do change. I know people don't like to hear that because it sounds like an excuse, but it's Nintendo. They do, and we literally had that example last year of Metroid Prime. Obviously was happening, and Jeff was right about that. They just delayed it internally.
Or Zelda, like the Zelda announcement getting like shifted around because the Queen died and stuff. It's like reality happens. These companies change their plans for all kinds of reasons, but for the most part, that's what I've heard so far. So yeah, I mean, things will be happening with Nintendo. They're not going to be dormant for a long time. What I just said, does that feel like a storm, like that we're in the calm before of? I don't think so.
No, it doesn't. It feels like I didn't really expect a Switch 2 announcement still, like anytime super soon. I think it could still happen. It probably will happen before the end of the year, but late. Pretty late. They are going to start talking about that because it is going to be clear we are at the end here. One more question. You said before that the Metroid Prime 2 remaster is not going to be on the level that Metroid Prime 1 was. Yeah. Is that still what we're expecting here?
Yes, that's still what I'm expecting. If that's changed, I've not heard about it at all. I still think it's going to be mostly what people want, right? It's going to have the modern controls and it's going to be HD and things like that, but it's not going to get the love and care that Metroid Prime got. No, almost certainly not. But it also doesn't sound like it's going to be necessarily a 2-pack of like Metroid Prime 2 and 3, get it for $60. Yeah. So I bet it's going to look pretty good overall.
That is interesting, right? Because the fact that this is coming out separately from 3, and if it's not a big boy remaster, because Metroid Prime Remastered was a $60 game, right? Am I making that up?
No, what was that? It was $40, wasn't it?
Was that 40?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Insane
but
to
yes,
me.
I think
that's
it
right.
was.
I think we were both a little almost shocked by that, given the quality of it. So this probably won't be cheaper than that, because why bother? It'll probably still just also be 40.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, totally.
Chat way on there helping me remind me that was 40. Thank you, chat. I appreciate that. Man, I should come to this show more often with no news, so you can just make the news for me.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, there we go. Now we'll have something to talk about on Game S Mornings tomorrow. Hey, you want to do Game S Mornings tomorrow? Lucy's at Comic-Con.
I would love to.
That'd be great.
Sure thing.
That'd be fantastic.
Then absolutely. Oh, all right. Well, that's exciting. So that kind of feels, if this is all true, which, again, things can change. Not true, but if it all goes according to this, that fills out the rest of the year pretty nicely. We got Pikmin 4 very imminent. Yes. Are you excited for that, by the way?
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, that's happening. So I think I'm going to plan to play some of that the rest of that demo here in the next day or two. But what I play of it so far, I've enjoyed, and I love Pikmin. I always end up like, it is one of those games where it's like, oh, am I excited about this? And then I sit down and play it, and I end up loving it. So yeah, I'm very ready to play Pikmin 4, especially after loving Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
Yeah, so, I played that demo for 4, and I did like it. And it was a big demo. Like, I played 3 hours of that game, it feels like. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much longer I keep engaged with the main game, maybe all the way through to the end. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Did you, play that entire demo?
No. I'm going to play the rest of it this week, I think, because it does carry over. So, I think we might do it on the site or on Giant Bomb. Actually, I think we decided, we'll just wait until the full game is out and do a quick look at that and stuff. But yeah, I really want to play it. So maybe I'll play it on stream or something and finish it off. That'd be fun.
Yeah, finish it off, buddy. All right. Why don't we read some of these super chats? Because we got quite a bit of those. So I would like to see
I'm looking at them right now. Let's start here with my boy, Big Jimbo Ryan. It's Jover. Also, let's not ignore how the Horizon franchise's popularity is technically skewed, as you couldn't buy a PS5 a while without Forbidden West. That's a good point, Jimbo Ryan.
Is that true?
It is.
Is that a pack-in?
It was like not a pack-in. Like you get to pay extra for it, but so everywhere else got the $50 increase, right? And
yes.
In North America and mostly in the United States, there was no increase, but you could only find the system in the $550 variety with Horizon Forbidden West in there. So yes, a lot of those sales come from that. At a certain point, it's a little bit skewed, but also, you pack it in, people are going to play the game you pack it in with. They just are. So that's going to kind of force the game to be popular, whether it's
pack
organic
it into
or
my
not.
Slot.
Yes. Mike's slot. Wonderful. Why are we here? Why are we doing this? Big Jim Orion adds, side note, Titan boss fight overall best part of Final Fantasy 16.
I haven't made it there yet. Hopefully tomorrow's when I can play a bunch more Final Fantasy 16. I did say I was going to do that during the staycation.
I don't know if I'm going to play more Final Fantasy 16. I enjoy it quite a bit, and yet I'm in the I get it zone. But the problem is, like, these boss fights that people talk up do sound like, actually no, you don't quite get it yet. But I would like the TikTok version of this where I could just skip to all the best parts and
you
just
want
play
a boss
those.
rush.
Yeah, boss rush. Sure. Yes, exactly.
I see that. You know what? I would rather you go and play Resident Evil 4 again than beat Final Fantasy 16, to be honest.
All right, deal. Jez says, most disappointing Nintendo game, all of them. And then he does the innocent face over there. How's it going, Jez?
It's not World of Warcraft, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not World of Warcraft.
one of that old chestnut.
If World of Warcraft was on the Switch, you wouldn't even like it anymore, Jez. That's probably how it would go. Good to see you, Jess. Thanks for tuning in, man. Baba is me says, it seems crazy to say Metroid Prime Remastered is the most disappointing game of the year. Like I saw someone saying, oh, thank God. And thanks to everyone making GM. What's GM again?
That's Game Mess, Jeff.
Oh, weird.
Right?
It's got to be, yeah. Why? I don't think I've ever seen anyone abbreviate it as GM.
They ran out of letters because of the
no, I get it, but I've just never seen it done that way, so my brain stopped working. This is just where I'm at right now. Yes, some people said Metroid Prime Remastered is the most disappointing, and that's
we'll get to that. We'll yell at them. Don't worry.
Oh boy, I can't wait. Willow Davis says, hi, Mike, Pillow Princess Minotti, and Jeff Power Bottom Grubb. Jesus Christ. I hate this godforsaken country. Last straw was U.S. being last to get Pokemon Sleep. That is what's really wrong with this country. I agree.
No wonder you're so sleepy today, Jeff.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have Pokemon Sleep. The Supreme Court of the United States won't give us Pokemon Sleep.
No. They want to keep us docile and
that's right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sleepy.
It's part of their plan.
Yeah, there's other plan. Clarence people. Thomas just loves sleepy people.
Yeah.
L. Grug says, rank the Minottis based on Italianness.
Man, I feel like that probably goes AJ Michael Chris, to be honest, right?
Yeah, I think so.
AJ's got that dark olive skin tone that I don't have. Chris got a lot of like my mom's more like Czechoslovakian genes, I feel like.
Okay, I just like look at the video of us. Like compared to me, you've got that olive skin.
I think that's lighting. I'm very pale, actually. The light's helping me. I do not. I swear I'm pale.
All right, well, fair enough. But I think you're right. I think your ranking of Minottis is correct. Let's see. Chrono Rig says, "Hey dogs, what third-party studio do you think will have exclusive games the first year of the?" Oh, excuse me, I lost track of it because I had to scroll over there. The exclusive games the first year. I hope something from Capcom. Probably the first year of the Switch follow-up, right?
Yeah, I imagine that. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, Capcom has. Like we keep thinking like, hey, why isn't Capcom made like a Resident Evil game for Switch? Like they made their own Monster Hunter for Switch. Maybe something like that happens for Switch too. Yeah. I don't know, but there could be something like that.
I wouldn't be too surprised by that at all. Ubisoft is always there. Day one, they'll have something in the first year that will probably be exclusive to the Switch. Beyond that, there'll probably be a lot of indie developers showing up with games because they want to get that first year bump. Because if you come out with an indie game on the new system, it's going to sell. Look at Golf Story.
Time for plenty of new, Golf Stories and Snake Passes or whatever was, right?
I love Snake Pass. Lurkin with my gherkin says, I'm a few minutes late. Has Mikey insulted any formerly assassinated head of states by assuming they're a hip hop group? Not yet, but give it time.
Hip hop group. I mean, the Franz Ferdinand's a thing. So, like, naming a band after an assassinated head of state is not some ridiculous thing.
that worked right, like when President Wu-Tang Group was assassinated. And
that's why they're called that.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. That makes sense.
Jez is back, says the classic Call of Duty games will come to Switch. Oh, yeah, I think that's going to happen too. At least some of them. I don't know if they're going to put like every single one on there or how they actually do it.
I only want the ones with the war crimes on the Switch.
Oh, well, good news. That's all of them.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see. Chrono Rig is back. Hey, dogs, again with the Monster Hunter Rise selling 10 million just on the Switch. Does the bigger scope of Monster Hunter World 2 skip the next Switch?
I wonder if maybe they're hoping with Switch 2 that whatever the next Monster Hunter is, maybe it will just come out on everything and it will just come out on Switch. But I don't know. Like maybe they're like, hey, no, it's fine. We'll make the one for like the PlayStation and Xbox, and that'll sell 10 million copies. And then in a couple years, we'll make Rise 2, and that'll sell 10 million copies. So I could see it going either way. I don't know. What do you think is more likely?
They've had like multiple like versions of Monster Hunter going at the same time for a while, right? Am I making that up? Like I'm trying to think.
They used to. It used to be like here's like Monster Hunter 3 Tri-Ace 4th generation on 3DS, and here's that version on Wii U. But that's what was so interesting about Rise, is that it isn't just some new version of Monster Hunter World.
So that's what they have new versions.
New game.
This is a new game. Okay, all right. I don't know. I think it's working for them, and boy, they seem really good at using that Reach for the Moon engine. So I don't think it's going to hurt them too much to keep kind of like bouncing back and forth between these two takes on Monster Hunter. At the same time, I could easily see them just like, oh, let's just kind of bring these two branches back together and put them out everywhere if the Switch 2 can facilitate that. All right. Let's see. Gabriel D, who is live in Tokyo and dropping the 1,000 yen.
Is that a lot of yen?
It's about $10.
All right.
Live in Tokyo with my girlfriend. And I think he says, in parentheses, Japanese. And congratulations, bud. And we went on a trip last weekend, rented a car, and when I set up my phone, Mike's voice burst out. She said, that guy in Japanese. Her English isn't great, but she can ID Mike. There you go.
Hey,
Mike, you are big in Japan. I've always said this.
Thank God, because like I'm gonna need help, like making my way to Tokyo Disneyland. I'm gonna need a lot of people to give me directions, explain like how to get yen or to keep all that yen, because it seems like a lot of it. I don't know if my pockets have enough space for 1,000 yen.
Yeah, that's and to clarify a couple things, you're right. 1,000 yen, $10. You're right. That's big. Whoop says like I made it seem small. You're right. I didn't mean to. And also, I think that's a very cool little story, actually, Gabriel D. That's fantastic. Cranch's Big Basketball. What about Star Fox Adventures? When will Nintendo recognize that game? And then a /S there. Yeah, I don't think Nintendo's ready to recognize Star Fox Adventures.
No, Sean's crying, but Assault deserves more love, honestly. Anyways,
the Uncharted Wolf. We appreciate the cameo you did for Bench JC, Mike. My understanding is we have the second biggest gamer on Cameo with us tonight.
That can't possibly be true. But yes, at 2 a.m. while I was at a bachelor party in Cleveland, Dan Riker started texting me, demanding that I join Cameo and use his referral code, of course. So
wait, he texted you while you were at a bachelor party? Is that?
Yes.
Okay, and he's just like, join
Cameo.
Oh, that's right. He said his chat was like telling him that like Mike Minotti should do this, so that'd be good. Well, he was right. I'm gonna get one for my wife for her birthday, so that'll be fun.
There you go. I approve of this, spending money on me for your prezzies for your family.
How
yes.
many of those cameos have you had to get into the RoboCop suit for?
There's just one. I haven't done it yet, so I need to do that actually after this. But yes, I am doing Robo Mitch cameos also.
Oh, that's fantastic. Let's see. Steph Tendo, have you been to the Game Awards? What's it like? I went to the very first The Game Awards when they.
You did?
Yeah, not like the VGC Awards or anything before that, but when Jeff Keighley went out on his own, the one in Las Vegas, I went to the Video Game Awards, and it was fun. It was fine. It was like a weird video game industry event. Like, oh, all these people I know are also here, and we all kind of don't know what we're supposed to be doing, and we're just sitting here watching a show. And it turns out we were just sitting there watching a show. It was fine. I think I would probably do it again if my job wasn't talking over something like that these days.
Right. Even for me, like just covering it, it's just inherently harder to do that while sitting in the audience. Yeah. Like I did that for Summer Game Fest this year. Like I was just in the audience covering that for some reason instead of, being at a hotel room and doing it and it'd be easier. I mean, it's kind of nice to be there. Like I get it, but it's also more difficult to do our jobs that way.
Yeah, in terms of just like what it's like, it is. I don't know if you imagine like watching a stage production. It is not that much different than anything else. Just you're gonna be during like the commercial breaks or whatever. You'll just kind of sit there, and since it's an internet show, they just show you the commercials in the theater as well. It's fine. It's a cool thing. T Bucket 23 on the subject of Batman Dark Tomorrow for Blight Club. What's the best Batman game on a Nintendo system? Armored Edition.
I mean, I guess. I mean, probably. I mean, NES Batman is still also very, very good. I do have a soft spot for that. Not so great, but okay. Batman Returns beat 'em up on Super Nintendo.
Sure, I can see that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it probably actually is the Asylum games or Arkham games, excuse me, that are on the Wii U, and now they're going to be on the Switch. So, and all three of them are. So those are probably it. We'll have to see how Night runs, though. I'm still going to be very curious about that.
Yeah.
Dr. Ryan says RE4 took me 7 runs for the platinum. Final Fantasy 16 took 2. I'll take 7 more RE4 runs over even 1 more Final Fantasy 16 run.
Well, I mean, definitely, yeah, but I also would rather play through an action game like 5 times than a talkie RPG 5 times.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely. Uriel Delgado says there is a punk band called the Dead Kennedys in the collapse.
Right.
Yes, that's
I've heard
definitely
of
true.
them.
Yes, they are. They exist.
Yeah. I don't know why. Just now I'm like, oh, they mean like John and his brother.
Yeah,
That's
maybe they're talking about Ted. Ted's dead now.
Ted is in fact dead now. Yes.
Jez is back. Monster Hunter is my second most played franchise after WoW. Please leak everything about Monster Hunter World 2, please. I know you know. Crying emoji. Yeah, Mike, leak it.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Jeff has many Capcom sources, unfortunately.
Yeah,
no, he's got nothing there.
I have nothing there. El Grug, can you put Paul Reichert in the Game Mess Hall of Fame just so he gets in before Ridge Racer Type 4? That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, I do. Oh. We haven't done a Hall of Fame episode in a while.
Maybe we can do that this week.
Back on Thursday.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, God, that kills me. What was that? What was Dan saying that like Paul Reichert was like educating him on why people definitely still buy Wii's and why Nintendo definitely still makes Wii's,
because he's like
based off of just his like assumption.
Yes, so he's like he's like, hey, what's up with the Wii? And he's like, oh, it was popular more than 10 years ago, and then Paul was like, hey, do they still make them? And Dan said, no, they made them quite some time. He's like, no, you're wrong. They definitely still make them. Not everyone's like you. Not everyone spends $500 on a Switch or whatever. Yeah. Oh, boy.
I think if my dad told me how the video game industry actually works, I would lose my mind.
Like, I'm a doctor of video games, Dr. Dad.
I think I'd absolutely lose it.
Jess says, why is your guys' podcast community so horny?
They're just all going through puberty right now. It's a very young audience.
Yeah, it's the hormones. It's the hormones.
So
it's going to happen to your community in a couple of years. Just you wait, Jess.
About 8 more years.
Yeah, there you go. I honestly, I blame Mike. It's mostly Mike's fault.
You guys always say that. Like, your podcasts are always filthy, whether I'm on them or not.
That doesn't sound
Giant Bomb.
Burter says, any news about Outer Wilds for Switch? Guessing optimizing CPU heavy sims for Switch is a headache. Are they holding out for Switch 2? Would Nintendo have someone like them secure a release title? Yeah, I mean, it probably can come to a Switch 2. Are they going to want to do the work at that point? I don't know. That seems like a problem with both like CPU for simulating the movement and the physics, but also I think like that game loads a ton of stuff in at once, and that like limited RAM on the Switch is really rough for that. So yeah, it's probably something that would have been a real headache. I bet they could pull it off, but it's a small studio, and they'd have to work with one of these other teams that are really good at porting stuff to the Switch. And those teams are always working with bigger companies because they pay more. So
how is Outer Worlds on Switch? Because that did happen. Was that like one of those miracle ports, or is that just a mess?
It is a fucking mess. It is a travesty. It is real rough on there.
Okay,
at least it was at launch. I haven't checked in on it, but I'm like, why would I even check back in on it? I could play this anywhere else. Yeah, it was real bad. I hated it. All right, that's the super chats round. Thanks everybody for sending all those in. If you send in any more, we will get to all of them before the end of this episode. Mikey, back to you.
Yeah, thank you again, everybody. Thank you. Jez said in a bunch. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Jez.
Well, we definitely have this community topic to get to. Why don't we take a little break, and then we will jump in with that. How's it sound?
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
There we go. What's going on?
Pretty good.
Here? What's happening?
Pretty good. What's happening? Is your Twitter blowing up?
No, we're good. I just was like, oh, it says enable monetization to insert ads, and I'm like, I could have sworn we had monetization turned on.
Do it.
It is on. Okay. Automatically, no, do not automatically place mid-roll ads. You are so bad at that, YouTube. Okay, we're good. All right, how's everybody doing? Let's see. Played Outer Worlds recently on Xbox. It was great. Yeah, I keep getting like a craving to go back to it because I never finished it.
A good game.
It is.
It's a good game.
It's a good game.
It's sad though.
I don't know if
But
I
happy.
didn't love it at the end, but I definitely really enjoyed it. I was having a good time with it. So I'm like, I should go back because now I'm like not burnt out on that kind of game anymore. I could go back and enjoy it. You guys take breaks. Yeah, we got to place the ads, Jez. That's how it goes. Also, Mikey's got a small bladder.
Yeah, he has a baby bladder.
Shout out to Gabriel D again. That was his first super chat. Baba is me with the first super chat. Thank you so much. That's it's always nice to see. We appreciate everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mikey has to potty. Play Outer Worlds as a sniper.
Happy ain't nobody happy.
That sounds fun. Tell you what, I'm playing a video game right now on this. That's it's pretty good at playing video games.
Because your camera is up.
Oh, I guess I could turn on my camera in Discord for you guys.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the
a lot of
ROG
delay.
ally.
Yeah, apparently that's what it's called. It's a
Oh,
ROG.
the ROG.
It is. No one actually says that.
ROG.
But yeah.
ROG. Well, just okay. I prefer to say ROG than Raj. I'm like, fuck it. It's not Roger
fucking-
No one says
Ally.
Rod. No one says Raj. They say Rog.
I say Rog. I've heard a lot of people say Raj.
Whom? Who is
Fuck,
the
listen, I don't keep like a list of enemies.
Put it. You should. If you hear somebody say that shit that way, you should put them on that fucking list. Okay?
It does sound like they're like, hello, I'm Roger Ally, and this is my video game system. Yes. The Ally is janky glory. I completely agree, Jez. It's like kind of miserable to use until you're playing a game, and then when like a game runs well, you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
It seems like it's more just a pain to set up than I.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely a pain to set up.
Windows.
But it's it's a pain to use. It is. It's because it's just not as streamlined as it's. Of course, it's not as streamlined as the Steam Deck. It is just doing Windows. And it's like if you have your game ready to go and you're just using Steam or Xbox and stuff, and you figure out all that setup, it's fine. But as soon as you're like, oh, I could like put a bunch of stuff on this, and it's okay, well, that's just gonna be a headache. You better go get a keyboard and mouse out. And
I wanted to talk to you about this because I think like I'm realizing that's why I like the ROG Ally. I assume that's what you're talking about because I don't want to like mess with it. And that's like I think with the Steam Deck, like I didn't care for like trying to like finagle my way so I could get stuff like Epic Game Store running on there.
That's completely fair. Yes.
Windows.
If you have games on Epic Game Store, this is better. Just period. Okay, Mike, you can bring the show back in whenever you're ready.
Let me open up
I'll watch you later.
Make sure I have the thread here.
Oh yeah. Well, he's sitting that. Didn't Steam say something about like releasing the Steam OS? That never happened.
Yeah, I mean, there are versions of Steam OS out there. I don't know. Do they have Steam Deck OS out there? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the Steam Deck per se, but like I believe just like any other because Linux is all like open source, and so people make their own distros. And
right,
shit.
you can
you put that on the
compile it yourself and all that.
Well,
shit.
you can just launch big picture mode on the Ally.
And that's that. Yes, and that is. I mean, it defaults to that. It defaults to big picture mode, and then like it looks just like a Steam Deck. Just the buttons aren't as intuitive and stuff, but whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Wait, real quick, Jess, what's the Xbox button? All these things want me to use the Xbox button. The fucking thing doesn't have an Xbox button. Like, there's got to be a shortcut that does it. So, someone in the chat tell me if Jess doesn't get that.
The Xbox one?
That not just be? Isn't there a home button? Or?
Yeah, I mean there is, but that brings up like the overlay for Asus.
Right,
yes.
Right.
Okay, let's see, Mike. Yeah, go ahead and bring it in.
And we are indeed back. Jeff, I have to know when you like start conversations about Disney on the Bombcast when I'm not there, do you do that specifically to hurt me?
Yes. Like a lot of times I am thinking if we start talking about X subject, and usually it's Disney, but it could be a lot of things. So like Resident Evil that one time, I'm like, oh, I'm going to joke around. I'm not going to finish Resident Evil 4. This is just to hurt Mike. Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
It worked. All right. Jeff, we are talking about the most disappointing Switch game first half of 2023. We've had some really good Switch games. This isn't us trying to be like negative for negative sake or anything like that. But hey, we've talked a lot about how much we love stuff like Tears of the Kingdom. Not everything's going to hit perfectly. I thought it would be interesting to discuss what maybe hasn't hit super hard for you. Do you have a specific Switch release in the first half of this year that maybe wasn't everything you were hoping for?
Yeah, I think the disappointing game for me is, and this is like what I don't know what I was expecting, but Advance Wars 1+2 is just Advance Wars 1+2. Like, it really is just those games, and I don't think it looks quite as pleasant for me personally as the original games on Game Boy Advance. I really like the Game Boy Advance aesthetic, so them kind of abandoning that, I don't think it looks bad. I don't think, of course, it doesn't play bad. It's still, all that stuff is still great. It's just, I have had these games for years. I've gone back to them over and over, and this is just that again, and it doesn't look like how I want it to look. So that was a little bit disappointing to me.
Yeah, I thought that would probably be your answer, just because it was something that I know you love this series. It means a lot to you, and then this game did finally come out. I didn't really hear you talk about it too much.
Yeah, and listen, I think it's I enjoy playing it, and I see it on my Switch, and I'm like, oh yeah, I would like to go back and finish it. Like, that's where I'm at with it. But like, if someone came to me and was like, I have like those games, or I can play those, like, have them on my Wii U, and I have the original. Should I just get the new one? Like, no, just go play the one you have on your Wii U. That's completely fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, mine is, it's not like this is a bad game or anything like that. But I had such this weird roller coaster with Fire Emblem Engage. First, like, not being excited about it at all, thinking it looked bad, then playing it and actually enjoying it quite a bit, and then like kind of getting over it and falling off it very hard at a certain point. You know, like, it's like all that stuff that I initially feared I wouldn't like about the game. At first, I was like, who cares? Because it's super fun. This tactics feel great and all this and that. And then as it kind of dragged on, all that stuff about it that I thought I wouldn't like, kind of like just getting in the way more. Even like every trip back to that home castle base between missions started feeling like a long amount of time that I had to spend at a stupid place. Even though at first I was like, oh, this is refreshing how simple this is compared to the stuff I had to do in Three Houses. And then
it was a lot of simple stuff after a while, right? And that's like annoying.
Right. It's like a bunch of simple stuff I had to do. So the fact where, well, now it's just a large amount of uninteresting content.
Yes, exactly.
That I could do in this stupid little island place, right?
Yeah.
Like the characters being very one-dimensional and not interesting. And all of a sudden there are just like 50 of these not interesting characters running around everywhere. There are some highlights there. And that, kind of slightly, the art style like that was completely okay with. The way the game looked was actually nice. It does just look better than Three Houses. But, up until this point, I beat all of the new Fire Emblem entries since I kind of fell in love with the series like a lot of people did when Fire Emblem Awakening, thank you very much, came out. Like, even though, maybe I didn't love Fates, but I played through it. Three Houses, played through it, liked it a lot. And this one, I just didn't really feel a need to finish it. I got pretty far in it. I forget exactly how many hours, but I think it was over 30 at least, and then was just kind of done. Didn't really care anymore.
I wish that game was just like 30 hours long. I think if it was, I would like almost certainly have seen it through. But when I got like to 20, sorry, just turn my mic down. When I got to like 20, 25 hours, and it was like, oh no, you still got quite a bit left. I'm like, I am enjoying it. Every time I'm doing the tactics, I love the tactics so much. It's like I think it's the best the modern Fire Emblem has ever been in terms of that stuff. It just feels so good. And then all that other stuff it gets in the way. It doesn't get in the way. It just drags it down. It just is this weight on what is otherwise a pretty like spirited game. It's got a lot of energy. It's trying to be lightweight. It's trying to be carefree and fancy free and all that stuff with the characters that are kind of silly. In the end, though, I kind of ended up in that exact same spot as you, where I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to finish it.
Let's see what the community had to say about this. Starting off very hot here, a little too hot, with Bench JC, who says, Metroid Prime Remastered.
You fucking bastard.
Metroid Prime was hyped up for me for a long time. Wonder by who. And when I played it, I just didn't enjoy my time with it at all, and I've grown to hate it more over...
It's the children who are wrong.
Look, Bench is just very young. Bench, when we did our Mount Rushmore of arcade sports games, Bench didn't know any of them.
Yes.
And I said, I don't believe you. You must have heard of NBA Jam. And Bench was like, no, I've never heard of it. So Betch is just very young.
Bitch is just mad it doesn't play like Fortnite, like it's or Roblox.
Or Roblox.
Yeah. sorry, Bench. but you need to apologize to us for what you just said too.
Yeah, that's true. Freaking love Metroid Prime Remastered. Dave the Bopper says, off to a great start. Thank you, Bench. Since Sports Story just barely missed the cut by 8 days, I will give my biggest disappointment to Blanc. Sure, any games can be hit or miss, but as striking the art style is, this game just didn't do much of anything, which was a bummer. I don't think I played Blanc. How about you, Jeff?
No, but I remember hearing people talk about it because I was interested. It has a cool art style, but it's even the people who liked it were like, yeah, I'm playing it because it looks pretty, and that's about it. And I'm like, so yeah, I was happy to skip it and save my time and put that time into something else.
Dr. Suss says, since I have only purchased and played 2 games released in 2023, Tears of the Kingdom, Metroid Prime Remastered, by process of elimination, it must be Metroid Prime.
You motherfuckers.
That being said, Metroid Prime is still one of the best games of all time. It's fun as hell. New controls and polished visuals make it the ultimate version of an all-time classic, and Bench is a fool. Tears of the Kingdom is just better. Benji Grubb says, no real answer. I just know someone will say Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm already mad about it.
Completely fair, Benji. That's what we do here. We get mad preemptively.
Get mad about video games. Chaos Buckaroo says, Fire Emblem Engage. Paper-thin story, poor writing, lackluster characters, and fan service that belonged in a spin-off. A real step back from Three Houses. If I'm going to play a big RPG, I need something beyond gameplay. I think that's a pretty good way of putting it. But then Jackie G says, anyone remember Tales of Symphonia Remastered? Yeah. I guess the one thing I say about that is that we were expecting a train wreck because we knew pretty early on it was going to be 30 frames per second. But that is still just absolutely baffling. And I know like the quote unquote reasoning that they don't have the GameCube original to work off of. They have that PlayStation 2 port, which is worse and which started like being the 30 FPS version of the game. It is still just insane to me that I can play a better version of that game on my GameCube than on my Switch.
Yep.
That's just
no excuses
weird.
Except for all the excuses they have about losing the shit or whatever. But I don't care. Make it better.
Yeah, figure it out. Whatever versus CPU says, I haven't played anything disappointing because it was bad yet, but I wrote a review for a game called Brock the Investigator, which is a point-and-click adventure game with beat-em-up combat. Oh, that sounds fun. And I was disappointed that was a lot more pointing and clicking than beating people's asses because the combat system is better than in a lot of real beat-em-ups. The story is also pretty depressing considering you play as a detective alligator that looks like a Tailspin character.
No, I'm gonna look this up. He's got a link here.
I mean, he's got a link, man. Yeah. Oh, this is very Tailspin. Yeah, this looks cool. Disappointment that it looks like a lot of point and clicking.
Mike, do you think point and click games are like beyond like mostly dead at this point? I mean, I know that there are a couple that come out each year and do okay with that audience, but like if someone spent a lot of money trying to win over, like there's no way you're going to get Bench JC to like a point and click adventure, right?
No, I think that's right. You have to kind of do something with it. You have to kind of Phoenix write it or kind of add something clever there. But that old LucasArts style, like there's no way they're going to be able to find a way to reboot Monkey Island into something that isn't more than just a nostalgia grab, right? And I like a nostalgia grab. That's fine. But you're not going to make any of these things like a big deal. The chat's right. You got to add anime waifus in it for sure.
Oh, of course.
Vision 49 says Fire Emblem Engage, but that's probably more on me than the game. It was my first Fire Emblem, and in hindsight, it seems like a bad Fire Emblem to start with, given how much of the story and characters are related to earlier Fire Emblem games. Ended up bouncing off of Engage pretty hard. I haven't really looked back since Advance Wars has really scratched that tactics itch. Yeah, I'd be curious to see like what is the completion rate on Engage compared to Three Houses, right?
Yeah, I bet it's significantly higher in Three Houses.
You know, I'm thinking about the point and click thing again, but like, man, like even me, like if I want to play a point and click adventure game, I actually want to either just play one from the 90s I already love or play one from the 90s that I miss. Like there's something about that genre in that specific decade that it just never really seemed to kind of move on. I know there are some like after that people do like Machinarium and stuff, but even then it just doesn't hit exactly the same.
Yeah.
And there are people who make indie point and click adventure games that are just like technically quote unquote just like those ones from the 90s, and it just does not hit the same way. I don't know why. Mr. Bohr says, to me, the most disappointing Switch release of the year is Everybody Want to Switch. Not because I thought the game was going to be good, I didn't, or because I enjoyed the first game, never played it, but because I like the idea of Everybody Want to Switch as a mythical Nintendo developed game that was so bad it couldn't be released instead of the crappy, forgettable release we got. We did get a weird trailer out of it, though. That is true.
Yes, we did.
Jet Bing says, I borrowed Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe from my library and beat it within a week. Main content was fine, but I remember literally nothing about the new levels and side content I played through. It just seems very forgettable. I'll tell you what, Jeff, I forgot about this.
I did not, because Addie goes back to it and plays it now. Addie's become the Kirby game player now. Emmy just like likes the character, and
she's in it for the lore.
Yes, she's in it for the lore, exactly. But Addie was playing that game today and was saying, "Come play video games with me. Come play this with me." So I played a little bit of it today. It's a good kids game. It really is.
Pop says, Cassette Beast. On paper, a grown-up Pokemon should be a home run for me, but even I can't cope with the poor performance and stuttering on Switch. Eagerly awaiting fixes. Wow, it really is a Pokemon clone then.
It's a real Pokemon. Yeah, I saw that on Switch and I was like, I think that's one you just play on another console.
That's been another tough proposition, is the Pokemon likes, right?
Oh yeah.
Pokemon clones. There's that one coming out from some developer that did something that's well liked. That's like Pokemon, but volleyball, and it's cute and it's cool. I just always wonder how much gas is really in that tank.
It's no Metabots and Robopons.
Evo Janice says, I'm not a person that cares that much about 60 FPS. I don't mind 30. Just keep it consistent. That being said, Tales of Symphonia running worse than it did on GameCube is unacceptable. It's super disappointing. I love that game. Won't play it in that subpar state. Yeah, it's insane that, honestly, if you want to play that game, get Dolphin, get the ROM. That'll be a better experience than paying for it.
Yes, it will.
That's insane. It should not be like that. Next one here is Punished Rose. Definitely Fire Emblem Engage for me. Three Houses was one of my favorite games of all time, and the drastic downgrade in story, writing, and characters engaged really bummed me out. Based on the reviews, I was hoping the gameplay would be enough to carry it for me, but I didn't find that to be any more compelling than Three Houses was, and the lack of any other selling point for the game left me really disappointed. I wonder if this is going to be the first new Fire Emblem since Awakening to not have a character added into Smash finally.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah, they'll still do it for those sickos.
Sakurai still has he's still sick for that.
And I heard he's a big Pepsi fan too, so he's going to be real excited about adding Altair.
Yeah.
Dan Park says, I keep forgetting Engage exists, so I guess for me, who has been very happy with games this year, Engage falls on a short list of not necessarily the worst games, but maybe the least compelling games of the year. Velocity Prime says, nothing. I don't really pick up games I'm not interested in, and this year, the big games I got for my Switch were all good to amazing. So far, we have avoided the anybody coming out and saying that they were disappointed in Tears of the Kingdom. We'll see if that streak continues, Jeff.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Big Tony says, there's hardly been any misses on Switch, but I had to pick one. It's probably AEW Fight Forever. It's incredibly muddy looking, pretty janky, and has plenty of hiccups running on Switch. It's definitely missing content for $60. Don't enjoy gameplay, but I should have waited for a sale and maybe gotten it on a different console. Yeah, I haven't really seen much about the Switch version of this yet. I'm
always kind of curious to see it. Maybe I can request a code or something, because I don't feel like paying for it because it's probably bad, but I'm curious.
Oh, Beef's just trying to upset me here. Beef Hammer says Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, wait, I'm skipping one because I just got so upset by this. I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to start reading the
tell
Beef
you
Hammer
afterward, but that's fine. No worries.
Well, we're going to start with this Beef Hammer one because I just can't handle it. Tears of the Kingdom is the most disappointing Switch game because they went from an amazing Zelda design with long flowing hair to this kind of mid short hair Zelda. Let's do the poll. All
right, I'll do the poll.
We'll let the people decide.
Okay, so wait, what is this fucking poll?
This poll is better. What's the better Zelda? Long hair or short hair?
Okay. All right, I'll get that going if you want to go back to that previous one.
Anyways, Bikes and Brews, which sounds like a good time, said The Last Hope Dead Zone Survival looks truly awful, but maybe that's known, so it's not a disappointment. The Last Hope Dead Zone Survival, I don't even know that one, I have to say, but it sounds disappointing. I'm disappointed just reading that name. Screaming Madness says, maybe not so much disappointing that it's bad, but disappointing in that it hasn't clicked with me as much as the series' previous games, and that is, Fire Emblem Engage. Three Houses was my game of the year in 2019, and somehow I spent little time with Engage. I found the gameplay decent and the 1 hour I spent with it, but for me, purchasing Engage was poorly timed as I spent more time on Switch playing Game Boy/Game Boy Advance NSO, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, my strategy game of the year frontrunner, and of course, Tears of the Kingdom. There's a lot of Engage. I mean,
it is the one I was expecting to hear the most when we went into this tonight. So not surprising.
Ozempic says not necessarily. Is that a new name? Hi, O. Not necessarily a single game, but the Nintendo Switch Online releases have been pretty lame so far in 2023. Even with the highlight release of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, they have barely added games to either platform. Plus, continue to ignore Nintendo 64. Yeah, I feel like we had a pretty good drop of Genesis games recently that I enjoyed. And then there was some Game Boy. Oh, we had that weird drop of Game Boy Advance where it was just all of those Super Mario Advance games, and that was upsetting. But we did get Fire Emblem on Game Boy Advance, so that was nice. But what
is next for N64? Because we're not even through like that last batch. Like, there's still a lot left.
Aren't we supposed to get some old Mario Party games still?
I think so. In like Excite Bike 64.
Yeah, it is weird. Why are they being so slow about that? Again, it's just bizarre how like there's for some reason Nintendo 64 old games are still considered premium compared to Super Nintendo, and I get that a little bit, but they like treat it like this giant gulf between these two things that are both, as far as most people are concerned, just ancient now. And it's still Pokemon Stadium 2. Geez, yeah. So there's a lot that they still actually have that on there. But yeah, where is I would really like Excite Bike. I wish that would be like in there today.
Like Wave Race 64, I think is the best of those, and that's on there. And it really, because it's like it's got everything for it. It's got the awesome physics, the great look, the great music. Excite Bike 64 is like a really technically impressive racing motorbike simulation, and it's I think it's gonna impress a lot of people how good that is, but it takes a second to get used to it. It's not like Wave Race where immediately they're like, oh, I get this. Excite Bike's like, oh, I gotta like learn how to actually control this bike, but that's a ton of fun. So I'm looking forward to that game getting another chance. Yeah, so Mario Party 3, I don't think that's out yet.
That's not.
Pokemon Stadium 2, did that come out?
It did not. So that one's coming.
1080 snowboarding, I think that one.
That one did not.
Okay, so then it's that, and then Excite Bike 64.
Yep. So still quite a few. Where are they? And then I know what Game Boy Advance. I'm really looking forward to Metroid Zero Mission. Did we get Golden Sun? Did that happen, or is that still coming?
That's still coming.
Now. And then the Oracle games for Game Boy Color.
If Golden Sun had come, you would have seen people talking about it nonstop at the Discord and stuff.
If they had come, I would have seen them. Okay, I won't finish that. Okay. Next one here is from the Gears. The Gears Wolf 5. My most disappointing game this year was Master Detective Archives Raincode. For the fact that I still haven't played it yet, despite being a big Danganronpa fan.
We're just disappointed in you, Wolf. That's on you.
Yeah. Shame on you. Teach QC says The Last Hope. Was hoping for yet another West Connection limited banger. That's going to have to wait a bit longer for Last of Us on the go. Oh, right. I've seen this. This is the game that does.
Yeah, that game that just is The Last of Us. I haven't seen any gameplay for it. I bet it's real good.
Brad Fish says it's a weird pick, but probably the Persona 3 portable port released on January 19th. No FPS content, weird AI upscaled backgrounds, and now we find out that it's about to be supplanted by a big budget remake that won't even be on the Switch. Really weird to release this at all. I see some value in releasing it, because for one thing, it's going to be the only version of this game you're going to be able to play on Switch. I haven't played the Switch version. I liked portable on the PSP. I maybe be able to forgive some of this one's faults, but I understand if you find it lacking.
Yep. I mean, that's the one they're remaking, right? So
yeah, exactly. That's what and he says that, but that remake's not coming on Switch. So
yep.
Landy Cool Dick Denver says Tales of Symphonia remastered for me. I remember playing co-op on the GameCube at a friend's house when it came out then, and having to tell those same friends that this remastered version is somehow worse than the GameCube version. That was a pretty sad conversation to have. I
can imagine. Yeah, that sounds like if you have kind of casual friends who remember a game like that, Like they hear it's coming, they get excited, and you got to tell them like, you're not going to want to play this version.
Man.
That's got to suck.
It is just weird. Like, why even bother remastering it if you can't get it going at 60?
I don't have money.
I get it, but like, it's like I really want like some of these other Tales games to get remastered, especially Tales of the Abyss, which is basically like the game that Tales of Symphonia team made right after this.
Yeah.
And Abyss was a PlayStation 2 game, but like, okay, like I still want that to run at 60 frames per second these days, you know? And like that game was they had a 3DS port, I think, and I don't want to play it on 3DS. I want to play it on my Switch. So it's just frustrating, especially because Tales of Vesperia on Switch is amazing. I love Tales of Vesperia on Switch, so it's just a weird bummer with Symphonia.
Yep, missed opportunity for them.
Yeah. Isaac Clark says, I've enjoyed everything I played so far this year, but my primary complaint would be that Octopath 2 was just too freaking long. The battle system was great, but way too much story content. I'm playing through the Pixel remasters now, and I'm really enjoying getting through a JRPG in under 30 hours. It would be cool to see new JRPGs get back to this trend, as many of the newer ones just discourage me from playing them with their length. Yeah, you know, like I played Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster, and it takes like 16 hours to beat. And I'm like, this is a pretty good length.
That's incredible. That sounds amazing.
I don't want to be like this, like, oh, they're all too long to stay. But it is absurd to me just how many JRPGs are like on average 80 hours long now. Like that's just kind of nuts. Like 30 hours is
where they should be aiming. 80 hours is just horseshit.
Right. Except for something like Octopath Traveler. I mean, I complain about this with all of the Xenoblade games. I don't know why all of those are 80 hours long. It's just kind of insane. Next one is from Shoji Kodo. It says, Shuttlecock H. Not horny enough. Very disappointing. And in all seriousness, of the games I picked up, I haven't been disappointed by any from the first half of the year. What is Shuttlecock H?
I'm going to find out right now.
I'm going to Google. Everyone hold up. Jeff and I are both in our normal Windows Explorers
it's
Googling.
A survival game. All right.
Shuttlecock H.
Oh, I can get this on Steam right now. Never mind. I'm just going to.
I have to put in I have to verify my age. So what's up, Christian? Do you know about Shuttlecock H?
No, thank God, I don't. This episode's gonna get super demonetized for sure.
Why?
Because of my shuttlecock?
Yeah, if you keep saying it, yeah.
Shuttlecock.
That's just the name of this video game. It's just educational purposes.
Shuttlecock H. Here are the tags from Steam: action, indie, casual, nudity, sexual content. There it is, baby.
Yeah. This game seems interesting. Well, yeah, it's like a puzzle game. All right. Yeah, I don't see anything disappointing about this game, to be honest. Next one is from Always Be Corgi, who says, Advance Wars 1+2 didn't seem to live up to the mystique of the game that was set to release and pulled with no definitive return. But at least it gave us this, and it's that gif of the blonde lady kind of bopping. She's bopping.
Yeah, she does bop.
She does bop.
Yep.
Wong GIF says, not sure if it counts because after the critical kicking it got, I didn't play it, but I really wanted Loop 8 to be good. If it's a game I played, then Fire Emblem Engage is not a bad game, but it has failed to click with me the same way that all the games since Awakening have. I'll have to go back and give it another go. Boy, you know what? I'm beginning to feel a little vindicated there, Jeff. Remember all the people who were mad at me for not being excited about Fire Emblem Engage?
And then remember like the 4 weeks where you're like, I really like this game, and then you came around at the end eventually, yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking about that part.
Okay, we're going to leave that part out. Okay, fair enough. I'll edit that out.
Edu Face says, the Nintendo 64 NSO lineup is my biggest disappointment. Maybe that's a larger commentary on how the N64 is just the weakest Nintendo system released outside of the Virtual Boy. Yeah, you know what? I think you might have something going on there, actually.
Yeah, maybe that's a larger... Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, that is hard to argue. I get it. I still like the N64 a lot, though.
Yeah, sure. Dugan says the excavation of Hobbs Barrow. Oh, not a bad point-and-click horror/adventure game overall, but makes me wish there were more of these types of games on the Switch, like LucasArts adventure games, and I have no mouth, and I must scream. Check out, what was Ron Gilbert's point-and-click adventure game he made before Return to Monkey Island? I feel like those kind of games. Why can't it's very Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Thimbleweed
Park.
Thimbleweed Park. Thank you, Christian. Thimbleweed Park. Check that one out. Kind of a weak ending, but it's a good game. Ron Gilbert kind of struggles with endings these days. JD Camp says, since the Gollum port hasn't come out yet, it's Minecraft Legends for me. Just didn't have any real fun playing it. Oh, yeah, Minecraft Legends. A lot of people weren't really super excited about that once it was out, huh? You
Yeah, it's
didn't
kinda
care
boring.
too much for it.
Yep, did not like it.
DMC, Depressed Me Crying, says, I've only played Kirby Return to Dreamland, which improved on an already fantastic game, and Tears of the Kingdom this year on Switch. So I suppose it's Tears of the Kingdom by default. Tears of the Kingdom, not as good as Kirby. I wish there was more and more variety to do in the overworld. The reused map took away from the feeling of exploration. That for me was the Skylands, which I wish there had been more of. The shrines, while creative, had solutions that were far too obvious to really count as puzzles. I will say, here's one thing I will say. There are fewer of those Sky Islands than I was expecting.
Yeah, the game is actually much more about the depths than the Sky Islands. The depths is where it's at. I like that. That's what I'm excited about when I go to play that game, is exploring that area rather than going up to those islands.
Courageous McBasketball says the most disappointing Switch game this year is Pokemon Stadium 2 because it's not on the Switch yet. G-Man Sir says the most disappointing Switch game of 2023 is whatever Mike likes.
Which is short hair Zelda.
Yeah, how dare you come after my waifu? Dr. Ryan says, speaking, let's see that.
It was a much bigger gap a second ago.
Yeah, it was a huge gap. What the hell's going on? Is everyone getting like cute now? Is everyone being fun? Oh, I know what happened probably. Let me check your Twitter.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I will say I would have voted for long hair. I really like short hair Zelda, but I prefer long hair.
Wow.
But I'm not allowed to vote. Oh, man, it's tied now.
Okay.
So it was 51-49 in favor of short haired Zelda a second ago, audio listeners.
It was winning like 2/3 of the vote a bit ago. So
but then we got all the votes from Maricopa County in Arizona, and that's just everything. We closed the gap there. That's how it goes.
Incredible. Dr. Ryan says, Dan Riker tried streaming the Everybody Want to Switch multiplayer mode that looked like it was going to be a Jackbox like that 100 people could play over smartphones. The first game was actually pretty fun. We all thought it was going to be good. Then every subsequent game was a tragedy, a roller coaster of emotions. I am disappointed that game isn't like so bad it's good. You know?
Yeah, it's like it doesn't even seem interesting.
Turbo Sean says, Fire Emblem engaged by a mile. I think we can all agree the tactics gameplay is probably the best the series has ever been. Everything else, however, is varying degrees of rough, from the extra characters to the god-awful writing. I had to stop doing support conversations at a point from literally cringing through most of the creepy, I don't know how humans work shit. That is a lot of it. For once, Mike was right. This game is too damn. He scratches out Genshin and says anime. Yeah, there you go. Marcin says, I
just like all the support conversations are like, you have muscles. I like muscles.
Yeah. Every character has
like cracked me up.
Every character has like one identity trait, except for the one character who has two. And his traits are he likes tea and he likes to stare at people from a distance.
Yeah. I love that shit, but it's like good for the first like 3 times, and then it gets like, okay, they're just still doing this. So I get it.
It's insane. It's just absolutely insane. Lossian says, I agree with G-Man, sir. What did G-Man Sir say? Oh, it's whatever game I like. Great. Miss Vio says Tron Identity. I don't think so. I mean, what Tron Identity was a disappointment to me because it's a visual novel, and like of all the franchises to show to a visual novel, nobody likes Tron for the story. Like that's a weird call to me. Of like everything to do with Tron visual novel and
movie. I've never seen it, but my understanding is like it barely even has a story, right? It's just like
and it rules. I love Tron Evolution. It's great, but yeah, I don't care about the story.
Tron Evolution, is that really its name? Is it? I thought it was Tron Legacy.
Yes,
it is Tron Legacy. You're right.
Tron Legacy, yes.
Yeah, what is Tron? Is Tron Evolution the game? What else Tron Evolution then?
Tron Evolution, I think, is the game, which is pretty good.
Okay. Well, there you go then. Yeah, I like Tron Legacy. I like Tron in general. Greetings programs and all that jazz. All right. That is it with that. Do you want to take one more break before we talk about what you've been playing and do some more super chat, Jeff?
Why don't you give me a break? Small break.
Yeah, we'll take a break. Just real quick after this. Do you like Tron Legacy, because of Olivia Wilde's short hair?
We'll be right back, everybody. Absolutely.
Yeah, that movie.
Yes.
That movie's so good.
I've never seen it, and I
don't know why people say that.
The director did Top Gun Maverick, which I love. And he did Oblivion with Tom Cruise, which I love. I love that movie.
You love Tron Legacy.
So I think I might like Tron Legacy. So I'm going to watch that this weekend.
Oh my God.
Super fun. It probably has like some problems, not as much as some people say, but I like it a lot.
Or maybe I'll just watch Annette again.
Yeah, why not? That's our life now.
Yeah.
I like the first Tron movie. That first Tron movie is pretty good too.
I've only seen bits and bobs of the first Tron movie since I watched it as a kid. I watched it then, but
yeah, I would actually watch try to watch Tron 1 again first.
It's all on Disney Plus, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, guess who likes Tron 1 a lot?
It is a product of his time, so have that in mind.
Yeah, but in a funny way, because it's like, dude, it's so ahead of the curve with like visual effects. It has to be kind of janky with it in a way I find really endearing.
Well, Jordan
and
French did a video on Tron Evolution.
That's what I mean.
It still has super like charismatic Jeff Bridges as the lead, so that's great.
Oh my god, he's fantastic. So good. He's really good in Legacy as well.
All right, you ready, Jeff?
Yep, let's do it.
And we are back. Jeff, let's talk about some of the video games we've been playing on our Nintendo thingies. You know which one I've been actually playing a lot of, which was a lot of fun?
What's that?
Neo Turf Masters.
Oh, I played Neo Turf Masters this week too. Yes.
Oh my god, because we did our list of the arcade sports games. We talked about Neo Turf Masters. Like, man, I haven't played that in a while. I didn't even know it was on Switch until you said something. It took me a while to find it because it has a different name on Switch for some reason.
Like AC, it's like the arcade AC? Classic, something like, yeah, it's a whole weird thing.
But it's not even like, it's not arcade classic Neo Turf Masters. It's AC Neo Big Tournament Golf or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
It could not use the Neo Turf Masters name for some reason, and I don't know why. But there's a bunch of these Neo Geo games that just have these ports on Switch. Like, you can get them individually. You can get like a lot of the fighting games. You can get, I think, pretty much all the Metal Slugs. It's really cool that exists, actually. But yeah, this game is just, I don't know. This basically has everything I need from a golf game. And almost anything much more than this, it becomes like filler that I don't want. And because it's like the stuff that usually ruins these kind of games when there's arcade games because they want to crunch your quarters. For one thing, it doesn't matter because you can just add more quarters. But some of that, like the ridiculous course designs that are like quote unquote too hard, kind of just fun to try to navigate those and make it work.
Yeah, I think it is so strange how it is. It is definitely. I mean, it's the arcade port. That's what it is. Arcade Archives. That's what it is. But it's like, oh, the controls are all weird because they're like, this is just a direct port of the arcade game. Yeah. So we're gonna make like the advanced button is gonna be actually B, because that's just what it is on a Neo Geo cam. It's like, oh, okay, weird. But yeah, once you kind of get used to that stuff and you realize like it's just emulating that arcade game. You're right. It's kind of got everything you need. I don't like that the golf power swing meter is just always going by itself. Now I get that that's an arcade thing where it's like, you just want to keep people moving. So like, no, just get into it. It's already going. Just time it when it's ready. I kind of want to like start the swing after I take a breather for a second and like assess the situation. I don't want to have like the stress of that thing going. It's not that big a deal. I got used to it. So it's completely fine. Yeah. And then everything about it, like the rotoscoped animations of the golfers is such a mood. I love it so much. So yeah. I really like Neo Turf Masters.
Incredibly, also, like chill music.
Yeah, for real. Cerebus Kane in chat says it's probably because of the Masters term. They're legally not allowed to use Masters because that's very, very, very trademarked in golf. So
incredible. I mean, even in the context of like, no, they're just masters of golf. I guess maybe that won't hold up. Do you have a favorite golf friends game? Because you kind of pick all these different people with like different nationalities and different specialities.
Yeah, I think I always end up going with like the basic guy because he's just
the US.
Yes, the US guy, and he's just who I associate with. Yes, I associate his face with Neo Turf Masters. He's got some great faces, like when he gets a bogey
so only
and
the
shit.
white American guy can be the face of Neo Turf Masters.
That's exactly what I said. I just love his faces. He just like makes big goober faces when he messes up, and it's good.
They all make some pretty big goober faces.
It's just, these are the ones I remember, and so that's what I am attracted to.
I like the German guy. I think he's the shot caller because like he has the best accuracy in the game, and also still pretty good driving and putting skills. Mm-hmm. So I like playing as that guy quite a bit. But yeah, like I've played through I think all 4 of the courses just like in the last few nights, just having a lot of fun with that. God damn it, Jeff, this poll is at 50-50 now for the long hair, short hair. If you guys want to vote on, let's see if we can maybe make this go one way or the other, and then we'll close it.
Yep,
because 50-50 is a coward's way out. But jeez.
I will say, like looking at the lengths of each bar,
yeah, it looks like long hair is slightly winning.
Like long hair,
you guys are disgusting. I don't understand what happened because again, it was going so well for short hair. All right. But besides from that, I also started Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster. Actually streamed it just before starting this podcast right now. And yeah, I've been playing through all of these. I've been really excited for 5 though, because 5 is one of my favorite Final Fantasies. But it's one that could benefit from Pixel Remaster more so than a 6, which I think already looks really good. But Final Fantasy 4 and 5 on Super Nintendo / Super Famicom weren't the most visually impressive games, especially in like the overworld segments. They're kind of plain looking. So the enhancements here visually are really nice. And once again, the new music, the arrangements, it's just so good. That's been by far the best part about these Pixel remasters. The arranged music is incredible. But 5 is such a great Final Fantasy. I love that job system.
The job system is the thing that makes me want to play that game so bad. People always talk it up, and I'm like, Advance 2 had like a job system kind of thing, I think. One of them did. Something I played around that time had a job system.
All the tactics have that job system.
Yeah. Okay. Advance and Advance 2, I think both had, and I remember like being like, this is so cool.
Very similar.
And then hearing that 5 had that, I'm like, I should go back and play that. And I never have. I've never even tried it. So
yeah, 5 is the one that started because 3 had a job system, but it was very simple. So this one and 5 is sort of what the job system that we have basically in most other Final Fantasy games, and in Bravely Default. Bravely Default just kind of took this job system, and it's fun. So what it is like you can switch your character class at any time, but as you master a class, you permanently learn certain abilities that you can then assign to other jobs. So you could master, say, Black Mage, and then if you play White Mage, you can make it so that you can still cast black magic and things like that. And through that, you can do some pretty wacky combinations. And,
I like that
really
idea so much.
Characters.
Yeah,
super fun. It's plus, since you can want to level up multiple jobs, there's a good reason to grind. So that's why, and I love grinding in these old games sometimes. So it's really cozy for me to put on a movie or put on some long video and just lay in bed before I go to bed, spend an hour just grinding out some jobs. So it's a good time. I'm really excited to play more Final Fantasy V. The Pixel remasters, after all my whining about how awful that font looked, once they fix that font, I'm having a great time with them. It's been really fun playing through them again. How about you, though? Jeff, been playing anything on your Switch or any other Nintendo games?
It's been mostly Zelda. I'm 30 hours in now, 125.
Yeah. I beat the game at 75 hours.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see how you could do that. I just I've really been enjoying it, so I've been kind of just pushing off the ending. I am about to get the Master Sword. That's about to happen. I mostly was kind of also putting that off because I'm I understand kind of where I need to go, and then once it clicked, I'm like, I'm gonna go figure that out, and I just need to do one thing basically to be powerful enough to actually handle that. And everything else is mostly cleared up except for some side quests and stuff that I was interested in doing. I just don't know. I kind of want to beat the game so I can play other stuff. But the way I play it when I actually sit down to play it is, I'll beat it next time. Tonight I'm just going to do a few more things. And so I keep putting it off. Very, very, very good.
I will say, and I think this has happened to everybody, you're probably a little bit further away from beating it than you think.
Okay.
So if you wanted to just try to nudge that main quest forward even a little bit more, I think you'll be okay.
Okay. Well, then I probably will do that then. And then Addie and Emmy have both been playing Mario Kart, and I turned around. I'm like, I don't fucking recognize this. Oh yeah, there's new tracks, and I'm like, wait, is that Magic Koopa? Oh yeah, Magic Koopa's in there now. And it's
Kamek or Kamek, whatever.
Yeah, Kamek. Yes, yeah, that's right. Yes. And I was like, oh man, he looks really good, and these courses look really cool. The bathroom level or whatever it is just so fun. They did a really good job with that. So those new courses are pretty cool. I enjoy them. I think I've played a little bit of them because the kids usually want to play and I'm busy working and stuff. But they at least look very cool, and the ones I have played have been fun. So yeah, but it's mostly still all Zelda when I get a chance. I didn't have much time to play video games this past weekend, which was I was planning to beat Zelda, and I actually just didn't get a chance to really play it much at all. But when I do get time, that is what I'm playing. And then there's a couple other games I'm playing now for work, but nothing Nintendo related. So that's it for me.
Yeah, I did play through those new courses actually, and I am very happy about Kamek. Again, how you say it, I actually like that character a lot, despite not knowing how to pronounce their name. But so yeah, that's almost the character I want to play as the most in Mario Kart.
Yeah,
8 Deluxe now.
He's very cute, very good looking. Yes, I'm very happy with what they did.
I don't think this was like the strongest wave of tracks. Like
No.
that one where we had the Yoshi Island track was amazing. But
Well,
I
yeah.
do like that bathroom track a lot. I think these are actually some of the better Mario Kart Tour tracks I've seen so far. Like normally they don't really jive with me, and there are a lot of them in this drop. But some of these were actually pretty good. And the Daisy Cruise track obviously is good. I like that track even before my weird Daisy thing. So yeah, let's go Daisy. All right,
That's only grown over the years. Your weird Daisy thing, but it yeah. Didn't start
gross.
there.
Okay, let's read the rest of these super chats we got in, Jeff, and maybe we'll start getting out of here. How about that?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's pick up here with Slippery Moose Cakes, who says, please confirm a new 1 versus 100 made by Tim Burton and Tim Schafer. Yeah, sure. That's exactly who's making it.
Tim Burton.
Also, please confirm a Batman Beyond game by Rocksteady. Thanks in advance. That's what they should have done, right? Instead of making fucking Suicide Squad, just take a different era of Batman. And yeah, Batman Beyond was like a perfect one. Like have the Batman from Arkham games be old and have him have a younger Batman.
People would never accept some kind of like younger, different take on a popular superhero. Like Spider-Man.
Yes, yeah. It's yeah. I mean, boy,
it is like actually the best. Like, because like that's the thing with Gotham Knights. All these things like, oh, who's gonna be next Batman? I don't know. People yell at me. I don't care about Nightwing or Robin or the other Robin or like any of these other like people. Like actually, that Batman Beyond Batman seems better than all of them.
Yep. I know that DC freaks they love all of that bullshit. The rest of us really like Batman. I know that makes us weird.
I know people yell at us sometimes, but I feel pretty vindicated. Like, actually, I don't think people care about these characters, guys. I think I was correct about that. God, I still can't believe that Suicide Squad game is like coming out months from now.
God, it's like this year, right? Oh my God.
Is it this year?
I don't remember. Or
is it even that?
I don't
think
know.
It is.
Oh wait, did they not give a new date?
I don't think they did. I think it's messed up, but I don't think that's going to be a 2024
game. Oh, it's
game,
February 2nd, 2024. Oh my God.
Oh my God. We are like 6 months away from having to deal with that.
All right.
That game's coming out after Starfield.
Yeah, significantly after Starfield. Yeah.
Holy shit.
The Uncharted Wolf says, I am sorry for my co-host Bench. I'll contain him. We'll see about that. We'll see if I can't contain Mike. You're probably going to struggle to contain Bench.
I'm going to contain my slot.
Fraser Grubb.
You started this.
I misspoke. Fraser Jubb. I did. That was Jan. I was just a passenger.
Jan started this.
Fraser Jubb says, I've been disappointed in Tears of the Kingdom because I can't play it. Should someone like me pick up a Switch soon, or should I wait for the Switch 2 or whatever it'll be? Guide me, Nintendogs. Get a secondhand Switch. There's a ton out there. Play
if you got a Switch, I bet there's going to be a lot of very good video games you can play in that. Have you heard of Super Mario Odyssey? That's one of the best games ever.
Yeah,
there's a lot of those.
I recommend getting a Switch. Like even like if you're okay with just like playing handheld, which I have been. Switch Lite is great.
That's what I usually do.
Yeah, Switch Lite is fantastic. So just get that, play it on there. You're good to go. L. Grug, Dominic Mysterio is the new NXT North American champion, apparently. Can Mike grow out a mullet?
I mean, I can do that. I won't, but I could.
Dan said he would do it for $10,000. What would you do it for?
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. I think Dan has accurately priced this one out, yeah.
Ryan Allen, Mike, look up Final Fantasy V Job Fiesta. It's a fundraiser where you're locked to certain classes with the risk of getting Berserker.
Yes, I do know about this. I've watched it before, and I would actually like to do it.
Is this like a
myself.
Nuzlocke?
It is kind of like a Nuzlocke, yeah. Like I forget exactly how it works, but basically, like you're stuck with a certain job, and you have to play through a game. It's a challenge run, and it's a really fun one. It's a really popular way of playing this game. I think at some point I do want to do the Job Fiesta. It sounds great.
Real quick, just from earlier, I read this one already. I just want to mention that Chrono Rig was a member for 15 months.
Thank you.
Very impressive stuff. Okay, let's see. Connell Wood says the Daisy thing is not weird. How dare you?
My mistake. I misspoke.
The very cool Daisy thing. That's what he's got.
Yes, the very cool, attractive, in fashion Daisy thing.
It's Xcore, a member for 10 months. Shout out to you, Xcore. Appreciate it. Just simply comments video games. I think that's pretty brave for him to say.
Thank you for 10 months being a member. It's X-Core. And Jeff, that poll, who's better Zelda, long hair, is winning with 51%, and I refuse to give anybody the satisfaction of being mad about it.
I ended the poll.
I'll wait till later to yell at you.
I had 244 votes. That's just that's how it goes sometimes. I don't know. Short hair has got a pretty impressive showing for
impressive for the right choice, but
yeah, maybe yes, but just like impressive showing for there's going to be a lot of nostalgia, and there's a lot more long hair Zeldas, right? So if you say long hair, and people are thinking of whatever their favorite Zelda is.
I hope they realize we meant specifically this Zelda, but maybe you're right. Maybe that was the problem. You're right, Jeff. You weren't specific enough in the poll, and it was your fault.
I literally asked you what you want me to poll to be.
No, it's your fault. Thank you so much. All right. Well, look at that. I was worried about not having enough here this week, and Jeff came in with some big hot news and gossip, fun stuff. I think we all did it. We all Nintendogged our little hearts out. Oh, last super chat here from Antonioni.
Since Daisy has a nice Peach, does Peach have a nice Daisy? Jesus Christ. All right,
I had somebody on. Oh, never mind. I won't get into all that. All right, thanks everybody for. No.
Mike, what were you gonna say?
No, don't keep playing the music.
No.
I had somebody on. Oh, never mind. Everybody, thanks for listening to last.
You guys hear me?
No shit. No.
You guys hear me? Start
cheering.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start
happening.
I tried to stop it. It won't stop.
Fucked your mom.
Enjoy your gaming.
All right, Mike. What were you gonna say?
So we did the Tears of the Kingdom spoiler cast. There was a comment. Somebody's like, I can't believe there aren't any women invited on this. And I just responded like, no one's invited. It's just, people can come who's in the community. She's like, well, why is it that you think there aren't more women who feel welcome in your community? It's like, I don't know. I guess the show can be a little bro-y. And then we were talking about Peach's Daisy. And I'm like, maybe it's a valid concern. I don't know. But I don't know what to do, Jeff. I don't know what to do.
Well, I'll have a stern talking to with all these fucking bros, and we'll fix them up. We'll see what we can do. All right, I'm hitting the button now for real.
Talk about more dicks.
Oh no, get us out of here. Get us out of here.
That's not healthy, Christian. Thanks for listening to the last of the Nintendogs,
I'm
everybody.
On a work break. Thanks for helping me pass the time. Laugh my ass off at Jeff pressing all those noise buttons just now. That's from Hired Sword.
Thank you, Hired Sword. Hired Sword likes the job system. I see that tactics avatar. All right, everybody. We're going to be back on Thursday with Game S Decides. I'm also going to be on Game S Mornings tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's at 11 a.m. Eastern. So
yes, it is.
Check out that. We also have Four Swords Fiesta tomorrow.
Yes,
and Back Rubs returning on Thursday. We got a lot. Amariko says, I'm a girl. Listen, thank you so much, Alma.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to have to figure out something. We got to figure out a way to maybe raise the banner a little bit for our female non-binary and who else listeners,
a full spectrum of human experience.
Full spectrum. Yes, let's do it. I want to hear from
Bye,
them.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Enjoy your gaming.
Oh, let's freaking go.
Let's go cruising. It's a blast. Let's go cruising.
Enjoy your gaming.
Enjoy your gaming.
Oh, let's freaking go.